Mr. Williams.
Hey, how are we doing?
Mate, we're doing well. We've got to go to the football tonight and watch the boys play, have a beer, talk some shit. Had a good night.
I mean, you can't beat a beer, can you? I mean, I was very jealous of seeing people walk. That was one of my jealousy.
Talk to me. You were watching the game from home. You were streaming the game from home. You were streaming your watch along. What did you take of it?
3-hour watch along. Yeah, I'm a bit tired. I feel like one of the players. I think for me, let's start off with the positives because we're a new Pommy in 2021 and we're going to be constructive. So, I mean, the positives were when it worked, it worked. So you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to play it very quick. To kick that many points and got that score with not a recognised key forward as well is a very positive. It shows that early entry is going to be beneficial. Now let's look at the negatives. St Kilda are a very accomplished side, a very clean side, but they're not Richmond. Richmond are more ruthless, and you could see when people say it's only a practice game, you can see that St Kilda turned it on when they needed to. They didn't want to lose that, and that's what good sides do. For me, I think you can see it's too easy at times to score against us, particularly ahead of the ball. The movement ahead of the ball for Carlton at times is woeful, and it forces that kick long. And you can see that 8 of their goals tonight were caused out of the back, just out of the back. Very quick transition. We saw Essendon do it. It's very easy to do it against Essendon. Essendon have the forward pressure of a 3-year-old child, but St Kilda, they have proper forward pressure. They're a real team. And you could see under pressure, the boys were a bit more reluctant to move. They tried to do the safe kick, and at times it got us into trouble. We know Doc turned it over a couple of times. He wasn't the only one. Plowman did it. A few players do it, and that's what pressure does. So that is probably a good lesson for Teague for the next 2 weeks to work on that, to trust the game plan, to trust the process. And that's something that needs to work on. But one thing is evident with Carlton, you're going to have to play 2 forwards. If McKay plays, he needs a Casbolt, he needs a McGovern, because, again, it was very easy for them to turn it over. McKay was pretty ineffective throughout the game before he got injured because it is so easy to defend. It's so one-dimensional. And St Kilda are very like Richmond. When the ball hits the deck and they spoil it, it's a goal. And that first quarter showed it.
Who has been your most... I know it's straight after the second match, but out of the 2 matches that we've played, the Bombers and the Saints, who has impressed you the most this preseason?
Liam Jones, without doubt.
Yeah. Great call.
Liam Jones phenomenal. His ball use down the back as well is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. It's so clean. It's something that I think is improved more than any other player. His ability to hit targets and make the right decisions. He's a real rock. Another one is your boy as well, Will Satterfield, defensive halfback, playing in that like defensive midfield role. He's a good out, and when he frees up, him and Doc can work. But I mean, that's something that we need to definitely look at against Richmond, because the third quarter, when we turned it on, I was saying in my stream, we need to run. We play a high forward press like they do. The only way you beat forward presses is you run. You saw teams scared of Sard, and they start running back, which creates space for Williams, which creates space for other players. So that's something that I think Carlton need to do. They need to trust themselves, because they are better than what they showed in some of them quarters. And I think it's a trust factor. It's a trust factor in believing in themselves.
I'm with you. I'm biased here, but I thought Mark Murphy's game and Zach Fisher's game were exceptional. What about you?
I actually think McKay going down and no McGovern and no Casbolt is actually a blessing in disguise, because they've had to work incredibly hard. And boy, oh boy, did Mark Murphy and Fisher work hard. Their forward pressure, their ability to hit targets, get on the ground, absolutely amazing. So I think they've probably got the best baptism of fire ever, because they wouldn't have had this opportunity. They've had to work hard. So couldn't agree more. I think Zach Fisher is an absolute gun. And I think Mark Murphy playing that half forward role, he's just that reliability. He knows how to use it.
No, fair.
But before I go, let's
yeah.
just talk about one player. Zach, I'm a God, Williams. What a player, man. Like, you know what, as well, Zach, it's funny because if you've got the name Zach, you're the only Carlton player in the last 10 years to know sometimes forwards don't mark it and you can go out the back. So, absolute brilliant. When Nick Austin said we had to strike, we need a ball user, you see why. Because when he gets the ball, something happens. Absolute beast of a footballer. And Zach Williams, I am honoured to carry your surname.
Do you think he gets a week? Because I think he does.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the problem is it's high contact, and even though it was low impact, they are so hot on that. I mean, I can see it. I hope it doesn't, though. I'm not a fan of suspending people for dubious things in pre-season. I hope it doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised, though, but hopefully not, because he's an X-factor player.
Yeah, he is. He is. Kicked his two roving goals.
He was, honestly, I mean, that was beautiful, wasn't it? I mean, it's something he's got, hasn't he? He's got it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But he's got it. He's got it.
He's got an $800,000 salary, baby. That's what he's got.
And you know what? Call this controversial, but I enjoyed that high tackle. It showed a bit of intent. He went for the ball, and you can see he doesn't give a shit. He goes for it, and I like that. And that's going to stand us in good stead. Dow as well, again, backed it up 2 weeks in a row as well, clean. And he's going to learn a lot from Williams. If he sticks around Williams, he'll be a very good footballer. But to me, we got a lot to work on, but you can see it. You can see it. It's not quite there. It's there, though. It's there.
So if I had to ask you, Pom, what's the one thing? I mean, there's a lot of things we've got to get right before round one, but from what you've seen in pre-season, what's the next most important thing we've got to get right before round one?
I think in 2017, I had the privilege of seeing Richmond play in pre-season and they lost. And it was round one, halfway through the season, they started to believe in the game plan and the game plan started to come out more and more. Carlton need to do the same. They need to believe. They need to believe it. They need to believe what they're doing. And once they believe it, they've done. They'll go ahead. They'll go to the next level.
That's very interesting you say that, because I thought St Kilda absolutely, there was unequivocally, they knew exactly what they were doing and when they were doing it and how they were doing it. They knew where the next ball was going to be when they had the ball before. And I was impressed with them. Full credit to St Kilda. They were very impressive. And, mate, when they go, they really, really go.
Oh, mate, and St Kilda are a case in point. Last year we saw signs and then they trusted the process, believed in it, and look at them now. They are loving it, aren't they? St Kilda are loving life. So it'll come. We just got to believe and back it in, and the decisions will get better. The decisions will get better. I've got no doubt. There was enough there for me to still be happy, Pom, and I don't like losing.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I think I was also overawed with going to the footy again, having those conversations before the game, having the conversations during the game, halftime, going to the pisser, having a pee, getting a pie, getting a beer, doing the little things like that. So hearing the crowd say boo and all of that. So,
I've got to say, shout out to the fans as well who were at the ground and who weren't at the ground. Like, absolute amazing support. And trust me, the boys will have felt every inch of that.
Yeah, no, love it. Love you, Pom. Thanks for everything, mate. I'll chat to you soon.
See you soon, boys and girls.
See you, brother.